Plaintiff Joanna Berry is suing her former tenants for rent, a sewer bill, and stolen appliances. Joanna believes the defendants had a crystal meth lab in her house because the police found hotspots when the defendants moved out. Defendants Justin and Stephen Gadberry admit to having criminal records for shooting a firearm and for driving under the influence, but they deny making or using crystal meth.
All right. The plaintiff is suing her former tenants for rent, a sewer bill, and stolen appliances. Joanna, state your case.
Yes, Your Honor. I inherited my former tenants in November of 2008, and it has been bad news from the very beginning.
How do you inherit a tenant?
I repossessed the home from another person.
Ah, I see.
I believe these two young criminals were making crystal meth from the very beginning.
Crystal meth?
Yes.
That's a lie, Your Honor. First of all, she's lying.
Why did nobody make eye contact on me when I looked at you?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
No, don't be sorry.
No, but that's a lie, though. That's defamation
What's
of
a
art.
lie?
That we were troublemakers or smoking crystal meth or anything like that.
Okay. How old are you?
I'll be 21 in October.
So you're 20. And
Yes.
how old are you, Stephen?
19.
19. Okay. Good. Go ahead.
I do have copies of their criminal records
Do you have a
right
criminal
here.
record?
Yes,
Go
I
ahead,
do.
Doug. For what?
A criminal recklessness.
Criminal recklessness? Doing what?
I shot off a firearm.
Pray tell, was there someone at the other end when you were shooting?
No. I had just bought this gun. I like to hunt, and I lived in city limits, and I fired it off a couple times. And
If
then
you
the cops
like to
came.
hunt, you know better than to shoot a gun in the city limits because there's no one you're hunting in the city limits, is there?
No.
This says that you were charged with criminal recklessness and two other charges, but it appears that you pled guilty to criminal recklessness.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And the two other charges were a common nuisance and possession of marijuana.
Those were dropped.
Well, no, it's called a plea bargain where
Yeah.
the DA says, I'm not going to take you to court.
Okay.
I'm not going to force you to plead to all three, but you can plead to one. All right. And in 2007, you would have been 18 years old.
Yes.
Do you have a juvenile record as well?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you have a record, Stephen?
I just had 2 DUIs.
2 already?
Yes.
You're 19 now?
Yes.
Did you go to jail?
Yeah, one of them.
Okay, Joanna, go ahead.
Okay. When I would come over to their house to collect rent, they both smoke, they looked high, and their eyes were glazed over. After the first couple of times, I was not allowed past the living room, and they had a blanket hung over the doorway.
She's been back there many a time. We've showed
Past
her
the blanket?
Yeah, we've
What's
showed her
behind
the
the
house.
blanket?
Well, I have pictures now that there is a house behind it, but before that, I was certain there was a house behind there, but I wasn't allowed past it.
But why is the blanket causing you to be concerned? What should that signal to me? The blanket.
Well, I didn't know at the time. Once I was in there, the neighbors told me that there was traffic going in and out. Once I got there cleaning, after we got them out, I asked them to move after they got behind bills, and they didn't move. My fiance, Sandy, went over and asked them to move. Justin came out, screamed, told him that he knew where we lived.
That's not true, Your Honor.
You didn't scream?
No, her husband came into my house and then was mad at Stephen hanging up the phone on her because she had told us to get out. And in the first place, though, she has told my other landlord that we are the best people that she rents to. We have a clean house. We was
Do you have a
always on
statement to
time
that
in rent.
effect? Did you get a statement from her? Did you ever say that, Joanna?
When I first went through the house, yes, it was clean.
All right. So there's some truth to that.
kept
She's
it that
confirming
way,
it.
too.
All right. But then what happens? When does the trouble start?
When I asked them to move,
Why did you ask them to move?
they got behind in rent.
Did you get behind in your rent?
No, Your Honor, I got rent receipts right here.
Let me see those papers. Let me ask you a question, Joanna. Why do you think that they were making meth in the house?
When the canine dogs came out, they found evidence of it.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
I had found cough syrup and ammonia. I actually threw the cough
had
syrup
none.
I
away.
bet you can find cough
and
syrup and
clean.
ammonia in my pantry too.
They deliberately asked me if I found cough syrup and ammonia. And when
They
I said
did.
yes, they brought the canine dogs out.
And then what happened?
Well, they found hot spots.
Hmm.
And then I went into the attic area and there was like this mad scientist mask there. And
What does it look like?
Your Honor, that's a paintball mask for playing paintball.
You're not trying to be Bill Nye the Science Guy?
No.
It's a real paint.
I've never even seen that stuff in my life.
It's for paintball? My son used to play paintball.
Yeah,
I don't
we used
remember.
to play paintball, and it's something we have. We don't.
Let me ask you a question. Where do you two work? Where are your parents?
I formerly worked I worked for a pizza restaurant for 2 years.
Yeah, and how about you?
I worked at Taco Bell.
Okay, and are you working now?
No, I got in a car accident, and then I lost my job through that and through the hospital and stuff.
Okay, are you okay now?
Yes, I'm fine.
Are you going to get another job?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and you?
And I broke my hand playing basketball, and I was off for about a month. And when I came back, they had already covered my position.
Okay.
But they had said that when I got hurt, he was the only one paying the rent and the bills and stuff. And then he got hurt. That's our luck. She said she agrees. She understands that, you know, times are tough. She said she will deal with it. She'll work with us, give us a chance to give her a little money here, give her a little money there. You know, she said.
Did you say you'd work with them?
as long as they were paying money. And then they stopped paying altogether. And I started getting sewer bills that they had not paid. And they kept saying, well, we're going to get those paid. And they didn't get them paid. And that amounts to liens on my property.
Did you get a lien?
I went to the courthouse and paid a lien. I just don't
Really?
have a copy of it. Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor. I
Had you
did.
been paying the sewer bill, or were you not able to because
I
you
wasn't
weren't
able to pay the sewer bill.
Right. Okay. So they admit to it. All right. Now, what else? You're suing for stolen appliances?
Yes, they took the refrigerator, stove, washer, and dryer.
Washer and dryer. My mother bought me that from my stepbrother. I have statements from my stepbrother saying that I got statements from the very first landlord of that house saying there was no washer and dryer in there.
Let's see. Oh, you do?
Yes, I do. When we had first moved in there, we were not renting off of her. We was renting off my best friend's mother, okay?
Right.
She was the landlord. When we got there, the refrigerator did not work, the stove did not work. There was no washer and dryer. All right, so my old landlord, the first landlord, she was getting new appliances in her kitchen. And then
She gave you the old one.
she gave me the old ones to put in the house. Now, from where I thought she was giving them to me.
To whom it may concern, as a former landlord, I would like to state that a washer and dryer was not in the house when rented. The washer and dryer belongs to the tenants. Okay, at the time of moving in, the boys had no working stove or refrigerator. They ate at my house. So there was no stove or refrigerator, and the defendants have proven that the washer and dryer are from the mom. Okay, now, due to lack of payments, I'm asking you to vacate the property. I've paid over $400 in back sewer bills that you have not paid, but you're only suing for $75.
Yes. I paid $400, but the $75 is the current. There was back bill paid when they rented from the other lady.
Do you have a lease agreement, by the way, the two of you?
No.
Yes, I do.
There was never no lease.
Okay, let's see.
With Justin's signature on it, Your Honor.
Doug, show it to the defendant and see if it's his signature before you walk it up here.
No.
That's Sandy's,
Who's Sandy?
her husband.
The real landlord.
What do you mean the real lamb? First of all, she doesn't have a husband. If she does, how is it that she has a fiance?
Sandy Frank, that's
Is
her
it the
fiance.
same guy?
Yes, he's my fiance.
He threatened my life. He threatened to shoot me. He threatened to take all my stuff out of my house and burn it. And he told it that was his
Did you
property.
call the police?
No, he just left after he done that. I didn't.
Look,
But what are they going to do?
Mister, you should know better than anyone that if someone threatens to shoot you, you can call the police and they'll go after him.
Yeah.
Next time that happens, you make a complaint. No one is not going to believe you because you're young.
Yeah.
Okay? As long as you're credible and your eyes are not glazed over. Which is all right. Now, did you threaten them?
No, I did not.
Did he threaten you?
Yes, he did.
How did he threaten you?
He said that he knew where we lived and that he was going to come and shoot us. Your Honor, I am a licensed gun holder. And if you're going to come to my house and take a shot at me, you better get it right the first time because this mama knows how to shoot.
So is that? So then that's why they threatened us then.
Did Annie Oakley here threaten you?
She never did. Her fiance did, Sandy.
How much do you think they owe you in rent?
They owe me $625 in rent. The stove is $350 and the refrigerator is $450.
$350 and $450. Okay.
The sewer bill is $75.
Okay. How much do you think you owe her?
Well,
Tell
in
me.
July, we got rent receipts showing me, right, that you have them up there, that we paid the money and the balance due was $0.
This is the way I see it. If in July they paid July 19th and July 21st, they owe a grand total of $75. You have not proven how much you paid for the sewer bill, and you've got to come into court with evidence, so I'm not giving you any money, even though they say they didn't pay for the sewer bill. And finally, with respect to the appliances, the washer and dryer were not yours to begin with, and unless and until you brought in evidence to show me from the other landlord that these items were in the apartment, you can't assume that they stole it, and it's unfair to accuse them of that. Now, the issue of the stove and the refrigerator of $350 and $450, the old landlady says they were old and I got new ones. So I'm going to give you $150 for the stove and $150 for the refrigerator. I'm going to give you a total of $300 for the rent. I think that it's really a shame. I think that these young men, are doing the best they can. I really do. I think that we've got to be able to give them the benefit of the doubt in some situations. But here, they've really got the proof. And let this be a lesson to you that you always have evidence when you move into an apartment. My son just moved into an apartment. He's in college. The first thing I told him to do was take a picture of the whole place and, to make sure that he keeps it clean and that he keeps records. It is very simple. And you know what? I wish you the best. You get your hands on a gun again, though, you're going to jail. Verdict for the plaintiff, $375.